Hi guys, so here we come again. This is the second video of the playlist. In the first video, I was making the summary of the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, written by author Harv Eker. So in first part, I described 3 points of first section of book. I summarized. The section of that book was the money blueprint, and in that section, in first part, I described 3 points. So in this video I will describe the remaining 3 points of first section of the book The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by Harv Eker. Okay, so hope you guys are doing well, and I am not bothering you guys hopefully. So let's start. So 3 points I left, so let me see. Okay, so first point was, why is your money blueprint important? That I already described in the first part of this video. The root creates fruit was the second point. This also I described. The 4 quadrants, this also I described. Believe in the 4 quadrants. Okay, so now fourth point is the first influence, verbal programming. Under the section Your Money Blueprint, we have fourth point, the first influence, verbal programming. So let me describe it. So what Harv Eker, meaning the author of book, is trying to say, that why you are not rich or why you are rich also depends on the influence, and that influence is verbal programming. So first let me describe you what is programming and what is influence. One by one I will elaborate it. What happen is, so believing something by default, you can consider as programming. For example, if you will talk to any day laborer, and if you will ask him why you are not having money, so basically if he will carefully observe his answer, then you will find he is having some very fixed set of belief, sort of programming to for like how to not make money, how to not take risk. You will very carefully notice. So these all things I am referring and is generally getting referred as programming. Okay, again I will say, whatever you are believing by default, maybe by birth or with some specific incident, role modeling, these are all our point, 5th and 6th point, I will discuss this. So whatever by birth you are believing about any particular subject, topics, place or whatever, that we can refer as programming. For example, I will give you what programming means. If I will ask you how to make $1 million net profit in 1 year, what you will say after listening this question, what you will not say after hearing this question, what you will think, what you will not think, how you will think, when you will think, why you will think after hearing this question, is all due to your programming about money, about making $1 million. What I will think is my programming. Got it? So in this we will talk about verbal programming. Now our programming part is very clear. What is programming, we know. Now we will talk about verbal programming. Verbal programming, basically, if you are listening something again and again, if someone is saying you something again and again, then what happens is, our subconscious mind not focus on the nature of bird, or the nature of whether it is destructive or constructive thought. If you will listen some thought again and again, then your subconscious mind will pick up that thought. That's why, like maybe your mom, dad since childhood are kept saying that get government job, that is safer, that is much stable, don't do business, that is riskier. So those, if you are believing and if you are acting in those way, then that means you are verbally programmed. Okay, so that is called verbal programming. Again, if again and again you are listening something, so what happens is, our mind doesn't know doesn't know the difference between constructive thought and destructive thought. If you will repeat it again and again, eventually it will place that thought in your mind as a subconscious thought. So be very careful whatever you are listening again and again. That's why we say na, if you are living with some friend circle, some family circle who are not they, if their mindset is not uplifted, then they will again and again say you very low level of things, and you will get, without knowing, verbally programmed. So in the first part, the first influence, verbal programming, Harv Eker is trying to say that many people are rich, or many people are poor, or many people are whatever they are, that is due to programming. And that type of programming he mentioned is verbal programming. Means again and again if you are listening something, then you will start believing at that thing. Eventually, it is very true. Even I figured it out. Okay. So even if I will give you a very short example of the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, written by Robert Kiyosaki, the major story of the book is, my rich dad was again and again saying me, do business, take risk, this is safer way, but my poor dad was saying me, don't do business, don't take risk. So he was also trying to, Robert Kiyosaki in the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, he was also trying to say that your childhood, whatever in your childhood, whatever you are listening again and again about money, about business, about life, about happiness, success, you by default get verbally programmed. Okay, and that programming will later decide your future. If you will become young while taking some decision, whether you know or don't know, but that programming will act very actively. Got it? So fifth point under the section Your Money Blueprint of the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind is the second influence, modeling. It means fourth was the first influence, verbal programming, and fifth is the second influence, modeling. Modeling means whatever you model, like for some actor, some cricketer, some player, singer, like if you are following someone as role modeling, you will also try to become like that. And why happen this is, we humans are monkey minded. See, sorry for the offense, but let me go to fact. Even science say our origin, we all know, we human originated from the constant development of monkey. So still in our some genetics we are monkey minded. What happen is, whatever we see, we also try to do that. The same thing monkeys also do, right? They are very good at this. Whatever they will see, they try to do that. Even this, the same thing we human also do. So if you are assuming someone as your role model, they may be cricketer, they may be batsman, they may be actor, they may be businessman. So you will also try to become like that. You will also try to think like that. That's happening. If some child is accepting Gautam Adani or Elon Musk as his role model, then he will also try to become like them. Okay, so the saying is, your role model decide your life model. What? Your role model decides your life model. So I will say, very carefully choose. To whomever you are saying that they are my role model, very carefully choose. Eventually they will decide your life model, how you will live your life. So fifth point, Harv Eker is trying to say that modeling is a very powerful influence. Like if you are modeling your father, and since your childhood, and if your father is doing business, then, and if he is successful in business, then you will also think, oh, see, my father is doing business, he is successful, he is living very good life, car, and he is happy all the time, bikes and all those luxury things. So you will also started role modeling that, okay, if one day I will become young, then I will also do the same thing. So this is role modeling. So the child is not only modeling that his father or that actor or that footballer or that guy, he is also subconsciously programming himself that this in this way my life will be when I will grow younger. Okay, whether that boy is realizing or not, he is by default subconsciously programming himself. That happens. So, second influence T. Harv Eker is saying is modeling. This also dictate how you think about money. For example, if your father is businessman and he experienced lot of failures and lot of losses in business, and he is constantly saying in home, business is very bad, never do business, it ruined my life. You also started role modeling that incident, right? Your father experienced behavior, okay, I will not do business, it is very bad, see how my father is suffering. So author is saying be aware of this type of role modeling as well. In the section, sixth point, T. Harv Eker is saying again in the influence a specific incidents. Sixth point is a specific incidents. So in this, what happens is, imagine the same thing. This is also a sort of influence, but here it is saying what if some specific incidents happens. The same thing. If your father is businessman, if everything is going well, but suddenly some crisis occurs, your father lost lot of money, someone did some bad to your father in the business. So that incident will trigger you to think, okay, business is bad, if I will do business, I will also face things like this. So subconsciously again you programmed yourself. Why you programmed? Because that incidents triggered you yourself to think in certain way. And if you will start thinking in certain way again and again, that thinking only become as a programming in your subconscious mind. And based on that, when you will grow younger, you will act, you will take decision. So this is a 6 point T. Harv Eker is trying to say. So in 6 point, one more point I will like to add is, in a specific incident is, see, Newton third law say that every action has a equal and opposite reaction. Okay, whether that reaction is positive or negative, either that reaction is destructive or constructive, but please keep in mind, every action, every incident has a equal and opposite reaction on the person who is facing that incident. So what happens is, and it can also be in positive way. Like for example, your father was doing job, suddenly he shifted to business, and by some luck or some hook or crook, he was able to crack the code of business, and he was observing in childhood all those things, and he made very good profit, and his life shifted. And so you will think, okay, if I will do job, then my life will not go, but if I will do business, then I see how luxury life I can live. That in that way also, that positive type of incident can also trigger positive subconscious programming in your mind. But still, it depends what type of programming you received when you was in your childhood, what type of programming I received when I was in my childhood. But still, T. Harv Eker is saying three type of influence. There is three type of influence. Fourth influence. First was in the 4 point, verbal programming influence. If someone is saying you same thing again and again, eventually you will start believing that. Okay, in your childhood, if your mom, dad is saying, see, that is not a rat, that is dog. If they will say you the same thing by pointing to rat, that son, this is dog, believe me, you will also start believing that, okay, this is dog. Second type of influence T. Harv Eker is trying to say is modeling. To whomever you model, your parent, it may be your parents, it may be your sister, it may be your siblings, it may be some celebrity. So you also program your subconscious mind to the extent of that role model. Okay. And third type of influence T. Harv Eker is saying is a specific incidents. If some specific incidents occurs to you, so you also, what happens is every accident leaves lasting impressions on humans. Okay, every accident, every incident will leave very lasting impressions on humans, on us humans. So the same 6 point T. Harv Eker is trying to say, if something occurs very bad to you in childhood, so by that incident somehow you have started thinking, you have started believing, and in this process of thinking and believing, somehow you programmed your subconscious mind in a certain way about some topic, and due to that you are taking some decision. But since this is a concept, section is money blueprint, so all the point is in context of money only. So and now overall 6 point of the section, your money blueprint of the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind is completed. I will very quickly summarize all 6 point one by one. Okay, so first point was, why is your money blueprint important? In this point, in the previous video, first video, I described the concept of mental frameworks. What is mental framework? About certain topics, whatever you believe. For example, if I will ask you, what is money, or what is, for example, wealth, whatever you will say about money and wealth, that is due to your mental framework that is stored in the file of your mind, in a form of file in your mind. Okay, due to that you are saying, okay, wealth is having certain things at certain level, but I will say no, wealth is having certain thing at some different certain level. That is my mental framework about wealth. So that was why is your money blueprint important. Second was, the root creates the fruit. Very true. If your root is of mango, then that tree can't give the fruit of orange. In the sense, if your root of thinking is that I can't become rich, however hard I will work, however smart I will work, I can't start the business, I can't become the rich, there is only way job, retire and live very adjusted life. So you can never become rich, you will never start business, you will never earn good money before retirement. So if these are your roots, okay, I would like to say, the roots of thought creates the fruit of life and action and results. Again, the roots of your thought creates the fruit of life in form of action, in form of results, in form of feeling, in form of the lifestyle you are living, you will live, you had lived. Okay, and fourth point was influence. First type of influence, verbal programming. I described what is verbal programming. First I described what is programming. If about someone, about some topics, about some subject, in case money, how to make money, if already something is fixed in your mind, maybe due to any reason, then that is called programming. Okay, if I am teaching my child to how to make money, so that in this case I am programming my child to how to make money, how to become successful. So these are verbal programming. If anyone will listen same thing again and again over a period of time, he will start believing that. So this was the verbal fourth points. Fifth point was the modeling. Again, a sort of influence. If you are modeling someone, you will start becoming like that, and that will be also by default become your subconscious belief. Sixth and last point was the influence a specific incident. So what happens is, if some particular incident occurs to you, then you will start believing like that, that any incident will trigger a sort of action and reaction in your mind. And if those action and reaction are very stronger, they will trigger very thoughtfulness nature in your mind. And those thoughtfulness nature is nothing, you are programming yourself to think in a certain way. Okay, for example I gave, if you are in childhood, your father is doing business, suddenly something bad happened, your father business got ruined, he fall in very heavy debt, they have to sell their home, then what impression you will get? You will get, okay, business is bad, we should not do business. If we'll do business, I will also end up like this. So that is called a specific incident triggered programming in your mind. And see, all three type of programming, verbal programming, modeling, and a specific incident programming, is not tied to only childhood. It can happen to any age. Got it? If now I am working at some company, and if that company will become bankrupt due to some reason, then I will think, maybe I may think or I may not think, that again depend on my programming, my mental framework. But maybe I think, okay, if you will have your own company, own business, it may go bankrupt. You have to fire your all employees. You will go in debt. You have to live on footpath. Those type of things. But if my mental framework is already superior, then I may think, okay, in business up and downs are very normal thing. I have to be prepared for this. And in fact, ups and downs of business is the actual joy of life. If my mental framework is uplifted, both thing I can think. So the core is some incident triggered some thought, and if that thought is very strong, then that will become as a programming in my mind. That was the 6th point. So your money blueprint entire section got completed. I hope you like the video, and in upcoming chapter I will try to, in the second part is 17 wealth principle in this book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. First section was money blueprint, and in this first section we described 6 points, and in second section there are 17 wealth principles. Maybe one by one each wealth principle in upcoming 2 to 3 videos I will try to summarize. But I hope you like the videos and I haven't bothered you much. And if you like the video, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and suggest me where I can improve, how can I improve. Until then, be happy, be safe. Thank you.